Hello and welcome to LexisNexis Risk Solutions Trust live event in London. I'm Hannah Wallace, and kindly joining me now away from the busy event is Lauren Ingram, founder of Women of Web3. Lauren, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Really good to have you on. Like I say, away from the busy event, so I hope you can hear me. And I'm excited to talk to you because we're talking about women in tech, which is a prominent feature in a lot of event agendas these days, and yet women are still underrepresented in tech. So can you tell us a bit about why that is and set the scene for us?
Of course, I think there are multiple reasons why women are underrepresented in tech. Some of the notable reasons are there aren't enough female founders. So for example, I'm working in Web 3.0 and only 5% of crypto founders are women. So even if that number has increased to more like 8% recently, we're still vastly underrepresented. I also think that the world of tech just isn't really working for working mothers. There are so many things that need to change. More recently, there has been a embracing of flexible working, but only to an extent. It's still culturally a bit of a no-no, for example, to take a 4-day working week.
Yeah, that's right. And that's because of the pandemic, isn't it, really? That's also helped. So what has been the impact of the pandemic on women in tech and their place there?
I think it's both helped and hindered, having the impact of the pandemic on the working world. We're starting to see more people embrace flexible working, that it's starting to become okay, for example, to work from home. That's much more normal, and it is more normal sometimes to see, for example, children or pets running around in the background. We're still not completely there yet in terms of fully embracing that people have real lives as well as working lives, but it's going the right direction. But I do also think the pandemic did hinder things. So in 2020, when there were lockdowns and homeschooling had to happen, the lower earner in the household was often dropping out of work in order to homeschool the children, and a lot of the time that was women, and so had women dropping out in droves from the workforce, especially in things like tech, and they're just not returning in the same numbers. So overall we are losing a lot of working mums, and I find that really concerning.
So what's the response here then, and what can be done at a grassroots level to tackle the problem?
I think a lot of it is about attitude, that if workplaces, if these big tech companies truly embrace flexible working, it's about making it feel okay to, for example, work a 4-day week, or to be flexible around nursery pickup times and things like that. And that includes working dads. So that working dads, it could become normal for them to also leave at say 4 o'clock to do the school run, whatever it is, or for men to take parental leave, and for that to be again embraced and made culturally okay. I think that will have such a big impact for mums by having that equalising effect.
These are some really important points, and I want to perhaps end on some advice then. What do you think are sort of the main and most important qualities for a tech leader going forward?
I think some of the most important qualities you need really as a tech founder are sort of resilience and determination. You've got to really, really want it. You've got to be honestly obsessed with an idea and not be able to let it go. And hand in hand with that is resilience, that things change so fast in tech, like unbelievably fast, as we've seen with things like Silicon Valley Bank. And so being open to, again, embracing change and the fact that things will change incredibly quickly. Alongside that, I think being open to risk taking. I think women are probably taught that we shouldn't really take too many risks, that you should take the sensible option, and so it's kind of getting comfortable with risk, and again about embracing change, and not always looking for the safest option, because you actually might have bigger gains otherwise.
Well, Lauren, some really good advice to end on there. Thank you so much for sharing your insights, and I'll let you get back to the busy event, but thank you very much.
Thanks so much for having me.